one other thing in the NBA, Klay Thompson departed the Golden State Warriors after
Yeah.
I don't know 13 years. Am I mistaken?
What draft was he in?
11,
Was he in the? Oof,
12
yeah.
years, 13
Yeah.
years.
I mean, yeah, 13 seasons.
Yeah, so like it's the end of an era. The dynasties, these guys finally kind of got to the end of the line, and I think this is why Bob Myers ultimately, he got out a couple years early because he was avoiding this very day
Yeah,
essentially.
it will not be put on me that I let Clay Thompson or Steph Curry leave as a Golden State Warrior. It won't be on my. It won't be on my resume.
I would have never let that happen if I was a Warrior. I would have been like, yo, we're riding it till the wheels fall off. They love this team, like, and they deserve to go out together or whatever. But if you're not gonna pay somebody, like you don't pay Draymond, you don't not pay
Right.
pay Klay. I don't care like whatever decline Klay has been through the stuff between his camp and the Warriors, going back. People were trying to blame size and all that. I'm like, nah, man. Like I think of the Splash Brothers as like an iconic pairing. Like I think of them as Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. It's like I don't want to see them like I don't want to see Klay have to end his career in Dallas, like essentially away from them. You never know; he could come back or whatever when he's, for like 1 year or whatever, like one of those old man contracts or something. But nah, man, like I always wanted to see Steph and Klay go out together, even if Klay had to go to the bench. But it's a tough business. We know kind of what it is, like as far as like he went through some horrific injuries back to back. And
Yeah, Robins was of his late prime.
Yeah.
Like, given the skills he had before he tore his ACL and blew out his knee in 2019 finals, he was going to age beautifully. He was one, like just like all the guys are at advanced ages beyond guys be hanging it up. They're still all stars. He would have aged beautifully with the height, the shooting ability, the ability to run, and the stamina he had. He was in the part where he was a great defender. He was going to age great. He was going to he's going to be an all-star all these years up until now, and it got robbed from him. And like as a person that was not necessarily the biggest fan of him and some limitations he had offensively inside of that Warrior system, running all that post split stuff, like I feel like we got robbed. I feel like we got robbed of Steph's running mate. This is premature because of this happening, because of what happened with his knee and then his Achilles. And like now Steph is, I mean, people want to talk about Draymond. Steph's alone. Steph is out there by himself. Yeah. And there is no road, barring something unforeseen and crazy happening, that like this is how it's gonna play out. Like we're now almost like in retirement tour for Steph now. Like obviously he's gonna play a number of more years, but like it's gonna look a lot like post 96 Dan Marino and the Dolphins, where it's like all time great, one of the greatest we ever seen, and just not enough help around him while he ages, and like it might go down bad from one final year. I hope not to see that, but like but that's where he is, and like they're out their minds if they trade him. Yeah, like it would be a betrayal to like the entire North California area.
This shit would be like trading Gretzky, like for like Oakland and shit like that.
I was gonna say it's like trading Magic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like it's one of those, like trading Kobe, trading Magic. Like you're in Chicago, you trade Jordan. It's like no, you don't trade the person that like that should have a statue by himself outside. No, that's ridiculous.
The only
because literally that is the house that Steph Curry built.
Yeah, the only way you trade Steph Curry is if he asks for it, and I don't think he'll ask for it.
No, my point is he's at that kind of stage where it's like if he asks for it, you tell him no. I'm dead serious. Like imagine if Kobe like in 2014 that came back, or I'm sorry, late 2015, like comes back for the last few games after he tears his Achilles, and then like next year, like, yeah, man, it's over. I don't want to play 15 to 16 here. Trade me. No. We gave you that contract. You can honor that contract.
Put the butts in the seats. you know.
Yeah. Fuck we gonna do without you?
Yeah. But
We'll figure it out once you're gone, but we ain't finna, while you're still playing NBA basketball, nigga. No, you're here. That 30's finna, that 30 finna, we finna milk that 30 jersey for forever.
man, yeah, like I just have so many fond memories of Klay Thompson, just like, you know, the game 6 Klay stuff is always etched in my mind. Like, he's an assassin from the 3-point line, which, you know, is right up my alley. I love their style of basketball. And they just like, it seems like such mismanagement, because like they tell you to do all these things to be a part of the team, and you do them, and then ultimately your ass ends up outside on a cold day, and they send your ass to Dallas, or you taking your ass to Dallas to get your money, because all of a sudden the dollars are dried up. All of a sudden everybody else has been paid. All of a sudden they turned Jordan Poole into Chris Paul draft picks and nothing, you know, like
I mean, and the sad part is, like, Jordan Poole is he's a disaster on the Wizards, right?
They gave Andrew Wiggins all that money, which they kind of had to at that time.
Yeah. One thing I will say is, like, you know, there's going to be the repercussions for a lot of these teams, as far as, like, I mean, we're going to see it over the next 5 years with OKC Thunder, right? Like, even the teams that have the great futures ahead, they're going to have to make decisions on letting people go in a similar fashion to, like, how you would see, like, young NFL teams in contention and loaded with talent, and they have to let one or two pieces go. And you're like, this hard cap shit fucking sucks. You are getting penalized for drafting well or maneuvering well. And in particular, like, bro, the fucking CBA that they agreed to in the players union, like, they have basically legislated a hard cap. That second apron shit, the way people talk about, and the way that I've seen, like, the penalties for hitting that second apron is, like, so penalizing. Where it's like, if you keep a good team together and go over the apron for multiple years, like, you may as well be making the Paul George trade to the Clippers. It's like that. It's like you're getting draft picks. Your draft picks get slid to the end, to the very last picks of the rounds. You have no mid-level exception. Like, it's, you know, like, it's hard. And, like, oh, you can't trade picks. You can't trade future draft picks out a certain number of years too. Like, it's really prohibitive, and it's going to make, and it's not a hard cap, but it effectively is. And it's going to scare some teams off from, like, trying to really try to compete. And, like, even, you know, the last 2 years with, like, the Nuggets, like, getting rid of Bruce Brown, and now, like, looking at what the Nuggets look like now, and it's like,
letting KCP walk.
Let KCP walk. It's like, are they gonna be able to contend again? Have they just sealed, like, Jokic's fate?
Like, did they fuck this up? Like, like,
and it's like
you have to give Jamal Murray what he wants at this point, right? Like,
well,
why are they fucking this around?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I think people are really scared. And also, you got to remember, Stan Kroenke's cheap, so that's also part of it. But historically cheap. But yeah, it's you're going to see a lot of teams that we thought could have, you know, competed for multiple titles over multiple years over this run. Like, now just, oh, we had a shot, we didn't make it, blow it up. Like, bro, I couldn't imagine, like, if the Celtics hadn't won the title, like, what they would have done. Obviously, they would have had to pay Tatum. There's no way they wouldn't have done. But, like, with Tatum and Brown, with that amount of money, like, they would have cheaped out eventually. They would have done it.
Bro, they're paying everybody, bro.
And it would have been sad, because, like, they got lucky this year. If they hadn't got lucky, just because they got lucky this year, or, you know, we think they wouldn't have won the title this year, doesn't mean, like, they wouldn't have aged into it because of Tatum and Brown's age and also the pieces around them. They would have been like, all right, Porzingis' contract, get it out of here. You know, Derek White might have been on the block, and that's what a lot of teams have to deal with. Like, they're lucky. They're lucky they got their title. We don't even know if they're gonna get another title. They just won 64 games. They just had an all-time finals or
All-time
playoff run.
playoff record. Yeah.
Right. And like we don't know if they can compete we don't know if they can compete after next year. That's rough.
Yeah. So WNBA. Enough of talking about the MNBA. You know, let's get to the